Hi everyone, my name is James Edlin. I'm here today from Unplugged Performance Upfit. We are a Tesla EV consultation company that help with charging infrastructure, financing, but most importantly, we upfit Teslas into police vehicles. And I'm super excited to be here with South Pasadena Police Department's first vehicle today. And this vehicle is their pilot vehicle. They decided to, South Pasadena actually did their entire fleet. It's actually the first time in the United States a police department's done their entire fleet to all electric vehicles. They opted for Tesla in this particular case because they said it's got the best infrastructure, it's the most reliable, the cars are the easiest to get, and the company that I'm from, we have 10 years of experience building the best Teslas on Earth. We basically take Teslas, turn them into race cars, we enhance them. And what you see behind me here, this is Unit 2301 from South Pasadena. And we've been invited by the wonderful team here at Costa Mesa. What are you guys trying to accomplish? And by the way, thank you so much for having us here. What are you guys looking to accomplish by looking into this?
Thank you. So I'm glad you guys are here and you get to be able to show us what it's like to have electric police vehicles. So we are committed as a city to be a leader in sustainability, environmental sustainability, but obviously reducing emissions from a big source of emission now at the moment is transportation.
Yeah.
And we have a fleet both for public safety and then our car share and carpool vehicles so that are also we're working towards electrifying. So we just want to see what it's like, have our team
Beautiful.
look at it, and
I
then
love it.
obviously experts like you explaining how it works and where has it been successfully being done and what.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for having us here. And really what you guys are doing, what pioneer cities much like yourself are trying to do with sustainability and thinking about future generations is how do we reduce our emissions? How do we reduce our carbon footprint? Well, vehicles like this one here do exactly that. Mm-hmm. And one really unique thing about this isn't just an electric vehicle. It also happens to be a Tesla. It also happens to be the safest car on Earth. It also happens to be the safest police car that you can buy. So it's not just zero emission. It happens to also be safe. It happens to also be durable and reliable. And a lot of the functions of why it's durable and reliable are things that we at Unplugged Performance Upfit have done. And so I'd like to give you a quick tour around the vehicle and show you what we've done. We'll start at the front of the car. And at the front of the car, we have a standard push bar on this patrol vehicle. Now, the vehicles can be configured in a few different ways, but we can configure the vehicle with the push bumper or without, as well as with the pursuit wrapped on the pursuit wrapping for the front fascia here. You'll notice we take a lot of attention to detail. Even little things like the siren has been hidden away, and that it helps with the aerodynamics of the vehicle, but it also makes sure the car maintains its aesthetic appearance. If we're gonna have this car, we might as well have it still look great too, right? So I'm actually gonna turn the lights on the car, that way you can get an idea. And what you'll notice if you look up at the top of the car is how slim that light bar is on the roof. Not only does it look great, but it also maintains great aerodynamic ability. And so I'm gonna turn the lights on so you can see what the front of the car looks like with those lights on.
Nice.
And so this is a position 3 responding to an incident position. And you'll notice we have the light bar up here. We have, if we go to the front of the vehicle, we have a 45-degree angle lighting as well as the wigwags here. And if you zoom back just a little bit, I'll add one more enhancement to the lighting. So this is a wigwag, and the wigwag is designed to add additional awareness as you're coming and approaching an intersection to clear the intersection, give yourself enhanced visibility. These here are remote spotlights that right now are in a pattern to clear an intersection lighting-wise, but they can be remotely controlled during normal circumstances as well. So I'm gonna change the lighting just a little bit, but before I do, come with me over here, and we're gonna come back just a little bit because I'd love for you to see what's on the side of the car. You may need to get down just a little bit, but you'll notice on the side, we have the side lighting here, and this is integrated into the side skirt, which allows you a great side visibility when clearing intersections. And what's great about this is we can customize the functionality here. You'll also notice, by the way, we have our custom upfit forged wheels, and then this is has the pursuit rated brakes and the pursuit rated tires here from BF Goodrich. And that's a partnership that we've developed. I'm gonna change the lights here and do a couple of additional things. And give me just 1 second to do that here. So one thing that we have is you'll notice that these spotlights are adjustable. So I can take this spotlight and kind of move it around. It'll return to its original position, or I can put it in a manual mode and position it wherever I want. Those are used with a little controller on the inside of the car. But if we come back, I've now changed the lighting for alley lights on the side. So this actually allows you to see underneath vehicles. So if you're looking underneath cars as you're trying to clear a scene or give additional area lighting, as well as the extensively bright lighting up here on the top. So this is just a number of different ways that we can customize the lights. And we have extensive programming built into the car to that extent. Now I'm going to bring you back to the back of the car. You'll have additional lighting here. And you also have lighting at the rear of the vehicle. So rear warning lights. You have, of course, the roof light bar. And one thing you'll notice is how smooth the top of the car is. We've specifically engineered the car to have as little outward visible antennas or anything obstructing the appearance. While again, we're trying to focus on the aesthetic, what else does this do? This ensures the aerodynamic drag on the car is optimal. So we're gonna open the rear of the vehicle real fast and I'll show you some additional lighting as well as where some of those antennas have been placed. So we do have warning lights here on the side. This is for when the hatch is open. These can be manually overridden so that you're not dazzled when you are looking into this area. So you'll notice that we've put antennas in the rear hatch space, and this is fully functional. We've worked with the engineers at Wayland, Motorola, and others to make sure that everything functions. We have great lighting on the inside of the vehicle, both at the hatch and on the inside. So this is gonna have a red and a white function, and tons of space in the rear here. This can be optioned with or without a storage. Down here, you'll notice extensive storage options. There's even space for things like sop sticks, fire extinguishers, etc. on both sides of the car in the back. When we look at storage space, this actually has the same storage capacity as an Explorer, and more so when we take into account the fact that there's no spare tire requirement in this vehicle. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the back, and I'd love to show you the prisoner partition, and then we'll head up to the front. We'll get you in the driver's seat. So this is a single prisoner partition. Now what does that mean? That means that this is set up as a single officer vehicle, and we're not ever gonna have more than one prisoner in the vehicle. It's set up with the divider in the center there, and that prevents the VIP guest in the back seat from getting on their back and potentially kicking and doing all sorts of stuff we don't want them to do. So this has been heavily thought out, and so that's this is the side where you would place the prisoner. You'll notice the panels here don't allow them to access the door or anything like that. As I close this, we'll go up to the front seat. You'll notice that this, as a single prisoner setup, that we do have a laptop here. This is completely adjustable. We can move this around for egress, and we can completely close this out of the way for when the car is in travel. But this does still allow for one person to sit here. For example, if we have a field training officer that's sitting passenger, they can still ride in this vehicle, and we can adjust the height of this up, down, forward, or back from where it is right now as well. You'll also notice extensive space on the driver's side. So we'll go ahead and hop around to the driver's side and give you a perspective over there. Now, when trying to get into a Tesla, there's something that I always tell law enforcement, and it's this. Thumbs up, code 4. Now, what does that mean? Thumbs up to get into the car, code 4.
Nice.
All right, so as you can see, tons of room. Right now, the seat's actually pretty far forward. I can take that seat as far back as I want because there's no prisoner behind me. And there's tons of space in the Tesla because there's no traditional firewall, things like that. This particular car is upfitted with a standard Motorola low-powered radio and has all the additional controls from Wayland, which are totally customizable. But tons of space inside the cabin, and as you can see, for a police car, it actually looks pretty nice. That's pretty much the roundabout everything on the car. The biggest thing about this vehicle is that Unplugged Performance, we take a lot of pride in making sure the vehicle is upfit, not just to look good or not just to, show well. This is meant to be durable, reliable, and to satisfy the parameters of ensuring that Tesla warranty is preserved and the Tesla functionality is preserved. And that is extensively because we've worked always with Tesla, service and all of their folks to make sure that we adhere to the parameters that make sure that the cars are always going to have a warranty intact, always going to have the things that are needed to make sure the cars are good to drive. So it's not just about making a cool looking car, it's about making one that's functional, that can drive over a curb or have a pit maneuver done and will still get home safe. And one question we get a lot, well, what happens if I run out of battery? What does the electronics do? What do all these lights and sirens do to the battery? And the answer is almost nothing. In a gas car, they're highly inefficient. You have a gas engine spinning and moving when you're idling, and then that has to transfer to an alternator, then to a battery, then through a bunch of wires, usually about 400 feet of wire in a police car, into all the police lights and sirens. In this car, you've got a high voltage battery, low center of gravity on the bottom, a part of why these cars drive so great and why they're so safe. And that high voltage battery goes right into our proprietary system at Unplugged Performance, into the police lights and sirens. I can sit this car on radio keyed, that means on a test frequency, and lights and sirens going for 3 days. From 100%, the battery is only down to 30 to 50%, depending on variables like the air conditioning. That means literally a 12-hour or even 24-hour duty cycle, no problem. Actually more efficient than the standard gas cars. So super excited to show the car to you guys today. Thank you so much for having us.